this is the desert. It's not the whole desert. It's only a piece of the desert. We need part of the desert in our room because so many important things happen there to the people of God. The desert is a dangerous place. It almost never rains in the desert, so it's very hard for anything to grow there or to find any water to drink. People die without food and water. When the wind comes, it blows the sand, and the shape of the desert changes. People lose their way. The desert is a dangerous place. You need to be ready to go into the desert. The people of God were living in a place where the rains did not come. The crops had no water, so they could not grow. There was no grain to make bread, so everyone was hungry. The children cried in their sleep. So their mothers and fathers decided to take their children and go to a new land where there was food. They had to go, even if it was across the desert. Their journey began. It was hard in the desert, but they kept going toward the land called Egypt. In the land of Egypt, the king was called a Pharaoh. When the people came into the land of Egypt, they found food and work. But the Pharaoh trapped them. They could not go home. They had to do what the Pharaoh said. They had to live where the Pharaoh said. They had to get up when the Pharaoh said. They had to go to bed when the Pharaoh said, and they had to eat what the Pharaoh said. They had to do the work the Pharaoh said, and they had to do everything that the Pharaoh said. They were slaves. One of the people, whose name was Moses, came to the Pharaoh and said, "Let my people go." The Pharaoh said, "No." Moses went back many times to tell the Pharaoh, "Let my people go." But the Pharaoh always said, "No." Then many strange things happened in the land, but the Pharaoh always said, "No." Then some terrible things happened. The oldest boy in each Egyptian family died, even in the family of the Pharaoh. The oldest boys in the families of the people of God did not die because the people made a mark on the doors of their houses. They put the blood of a lamb there, and the angel of death passed over them. When Moses went back this last time and said, "Let my people go," the Pharaoh said yes. The people began to hurry to get everything ready. They packed all that they could carry, and they baked bread for the journey. There was no time to put leaven in the bread so that it would swell and get big and fluffy like the bread you buy in the store. It was flat. You can still eat this bread today. It is called matzah. Whenever you taste it, you can still taste this story. The people went as fast as they could. They were afraid the Pharaoh would change his mind. Suddenly, they heard a sound that they did not want to hear. The ground began to shake. The Pharaoh's army was coming after them. The beating of the horses' hooves and the rolling of the chariots sounded like thunder. The army of the Pharaoh pushed the people up against the water. They did not know what to do. God came so close to Moses, and Moses came so close to God that he knew how to take the people through the water into freedom. This one looks so scared. They can barely move. This one is running. This one is happy. This one is confused. When all of the people were safe on the other side, the water closed behind them, and they were free. The army of the Pharaohs could not get them. Now all the people were free on the other side. They were so happy that they had to give thanks to God. And Miriam, the sister of Moses, led in the dancing. Now, I wonder what part of this story you liked best. I wonder what part of the story is the most important part. I wonder what part of the story is about you or who you are in the story. I wonder if there is any part of the story we can leave out and still have all of the story that we need. This is like the flatbread that people made so quickly. You can still eat it today. Whenever you taste this bread, you taste this story. This is the bread of the Passover feast. It's called matzah. There is nothing in this bread except flour and water. They were in a hurry. They had no time for leaven in the bread to make it get big and fluffy in the bread like you buy in the store. So this is unleavened bread. And what you taste is the story.